Hey knitters, it's Wednesday. So I'm going to start with the theme this week, which is one thing that you love and one thing that you hate. And I'll start with the thing that I hate, which is homework. I started taking summer classes about 2 weeks ago, and I just don't like doing homework. They're all online. I don't have to go anywhere, but um, my semester was so bad that I have not recovered, and I just have no motivation. I just don't want to do any homework, and it's really bad. Because that leads me to the thing I love of the week, which is Harry Potter. Okay, so I started rereading all of the Harry Potter books, which I've done pretty much every summer, but I don't think I did it last summer because I was really busy because I was working a lot last summer. But yeah, so I started rereading the first book probably 2 weeks ago. It's been taking me max 5 days to reread. And I started Goblet of Fire last night at 9:30 and then stayed up until 12 reading it. So yeah, I love Harry Potter, and I just the thing that I hate and the thing that I love are clashing because I don't want to do homework. I want to read Harry Potter, and that's a problem. But I don't care because Harry Potter's awesome. And I'm not going to LeakyCon this year, and there's not a movie coming out this summer or anything, so I kind of feel like I need to read these books to fill that hole in my soul that, was made when Harry Potter was over. It's never over. It's real for us. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay. Sorry, that went to a dark place. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the knitting group now, since pretty much everyone mentioned it in their videos. Moving my hands around a lot, I apologize. Okay, so I don't know that I would go back to this particular knitting group again. Not because the people were mean or whatever, but Kiki's house is an hour and 20 minutes away from my house, so it's a little bit far to go once a week. And then the shop where it was located was really fun. The front half of the shop has knickknacks and candles and random stuff, and then in the middle is a table and the cash register and stuff, and then they have all this beautiful yarn and knitting needles and all that knitting fun stuff. So I've never been into this shop before, so I just kind of was amazed by the yarn and wanted to look around, and so we spent a good hour just looking around at this shop. And so then it was kind of to the point where we're okay, do we want to leave or do we want to actually try and sit down? And the table that they had the group at was already pretty full. I didn't see any extra chairs, and all the people there really seemed to know each other, and they were deep in conversation, and so there wasn't really a good point to interject and be hey, can we join your knitting group? And I kind of feel maybe if we had sat down first and then looked around the shop, it would have been easier. But I think Kiki and I, social anxiety kicked in, and we were just we don't want to be rude and interrupt their conversation, and so we'll just leave. And that's what we did. But I did buy something. It's a knitting game called Last Knitter Standing, but unfortunately you kind of need a knitting group to play this, or at least a group of people who know how to knit. And it's got trivia and challenges, and basically you play for an hour, and the person who has knit the most rows at the end of an hour wins. And there's you can't just knit as fast as you want. They're you have to answer the question correctly, and then you can knit 5 rows or whatever. So it would be fun, and maybe I can ask you guys some trivia questions from it. I don't know when I'll ever be able to play this. Okay, I'm rambling about knitting groups, but one more thing. Actually, Amber suggested in her comments that I look on Ravelry, because I've had a really hard time finding a knitting group that's close to me, and I hadn't even thought to look on Ravelry, and I went on an hour ago and found one really close to me, and it's on Mondays. So I'm gonna try and go to that on Monday since it's so close, and they were on Ravelry, so I can get a feel for them, and they seemed friendly. So yeah, we'll try that one instead. Okay, so on to crafting, knitting this week, which is actually crocheting. Again, I started another Mother Bear while I was at Kiki's. Once we left the knitting group, we went back to her house, and I taught her how to knit. I had taught her the basics before, but she'd been a little bit rusty, so I taught her that. And I also taught her how to crochet, which apparently she's incapable of doing right-handed, but I can't teach her how to do it left-handed because I'm not a lefty, and so I didn't understand what she was doing because I'm like, it's backwards, I'm sorry, I can't help you. It shouldn't be that hard, but I was like, I don't understand this. Okay, so I started this mother bear. It's black and rainbow. And this is actually the yarn that Michael gave me in a swap like 2-3 years ago. I don't even know. So it still needs one more leg and arms, and then all the seaming, obviously, because you got like octopus strings going on right now. Okay, I've been talking for a really long time. I'm sorry. Okay, so I guess that's about everything that I need to share with you guys. So I hope that everyone is having an awesome Wednesday, and I will see Michael tomorrow.